I'm here in beautiful LA. It's not sunny today, but we're feeling sunny. We're at the Milken conference with a ton of colleagues from Blackstone. We've got wonderful meetings with a lot of important relationships. I'm super excited. I am excited to see so many friends from around the world, policymakers, LPs, investors, banks, others. It's fun. You speed date lots of people, but that's always the best. You learn a lot doing that. You know, I love hearing from our global investors who are obviously concerned about what's happening on the tariff front and taking their temperature and giving them our insights, and those dialogues are really valuable. It's really a productive way to spend time. I did some TV, I got more to do. I'm going on stage in a little bit. I love being in LA. I gotta run, see ya.
So Jonathan, I always look forward to your Christmas video that you put out here, okay? What was your idea behind that?
The thought was we gotta do something that connects everybody. And we decided to do sort of a spoof. I had this idea, we'll make it like The Office. I do have a bit of excessive enthusiasm and I drive everyone a little crazy, shocking. And what happened with that first video is it left the building, and not only our employees loved it, but our clients, our shareholders, people really enjoyed this. They like to see people in finance making fun of themselves and looking silly and so forth. Underlying this also at the end of the day is, you know, we don't make physical products. We're in the trust business. And so if you can humanize yourselves and connect with people, I think that's very positive.
5 seconds. 3 seconds.
We're live from the Milken Institute Global Conference. Let's get right to our next guest. His name is Jonathan Gray. When it comes to data center usage, demand, what are you seeing?
On the data centers, there's a real disconnect between the headlines, which are obviously negative, DeepSeek, Microsoft pulling back a little bit, some of the chip restrictions, and what's actually happening on the ground, which is strong demand. OpenAI, I think, is up 4-fold in users in the last year. I still think we're in the early days. I think each year we're going forward, we're going to see very significant increases. What'd you think about that interview? Are you having fun out here?
Yeah, I thought you were very good, John. You know, were you at your best? You're close. You know, we've done.
I can do better.
I can always do better.
Yeah.
I mean, I give myself maybe a B-. You get like an A-.
A-. Yeah. I'll do better. David is the best. Great to see you. Be well.
Thank you.
I'm Joan Solotar. I run Blackstone Private Wealth. I am here to meet with clients, meet with advisors, meet with our distribution partners, and speak on the main stage on a panel about the future of private wealth. Got in yesterday, got myself a cup of ginger tea. That was really quite good. This is my second year at the Milken conference, and this year Blackstone has a much bigger presence. We are so well organized in true Blackstone style. There is nothing that compares with meeting in person. I have to go now to get downstairs for my panel.
Every time we've gone through a period of turbulence, it's actually benefited us on the other side. Until we have greater clarity on tariffs, on direction of the economy, there are going to be some folks who don't want to make a commitment to a much longer term, less liquid asset. But I think the value proposition is still very much there.
So this has been super fun. I am going to hand it off to my partner, Nick Galakatos.
Thank you, Joan. I'm Nick Galakatos. I run the life sciences business at Blackstone. I'm here at Milken, and I'm right behind the elevator. And I can tell you, the elevator is quite something. You have to wait for hours, kind of like waiting for data in clinical trials. This is my first time at Milken, so I didn't know what to expect. But for life sciences, I'm here primarily to meet with investors. I had the pleasure of meeting a whole bunch of people that are really interested in what we do. They really like the fact that we make products that may have an impact on patients, but also they really like our returns too. To take the combination between great returns and impact, hey, that's a pretty good deal.
Hi, I'm Klimczak. I oversee Blackstone's global infrastructure business. Excited to be back here at Milken. California is a place where we, Blackstone, have a massive presence. We, for instance, in our infrastructure business, own the largest ports company in the Americas. We have a massive footprint here, and I'm hopeful to get a chance to go over to see one of our assets a little bit later here today.
I feel like I'm in a Coachella Get Ready With Me video, but it's the opposite thing. It's the end of the day one at Milken. I've spent day one mostly connecting with clients. A lot of the meetings were just informal dialogue about what we're seeing in our portfolio, what our clients are trying to do with theirs, opportunities to connect and reconnect on what everyone's seeing at a kind of uncertain time. I think a couple clear takeaways. One, on the real estate side, is that pretty much universally everyone is seeing what we're seeing, which is there's been this sharp decline in new starts, particularly given increased costs potentially caused by tariffs, technology, demand for computing and AI. That is just kind of unabated by what's happening in the world. And so that makes me even more enthusiastic about this position we have. Probably the most fun and uplifting part of the day was a lunch hosted by Goldman Sachs for its women clients. I'm also a Goldman alum, and I was just delighted to be included in this group of incredible women who are just crushing it in all aspects. Looking forward to doing it all again tomorrow, but also happy to have a break now. Good night.
Good morning. It's early. I am in Los Angeles, California. Actually, technically, I'm not in Los Angeles right at this moment. I'm in Beverly Hills.
Hi, everybody. I'm Vic Sawhney. We're coming to you here from the Milken Conference, and we're here to give you a little bit of a halftime report. I'm here with my good friend and colleague, Mike Zawadzki, affectionately known as Z. How are you feeling about the credit markets today?
Thanks, Vic. Fun being here with you. There's a bit of cautious optimism. People are seeing a lot of uncertainty and sentiment stats come lower, but when we actually look at the fundamentals on the ground, you're seeing resilience, and so that's actually a pretty good environment to invest in credit.
That's great. Super helpful. So yesterday, you were a speaker here at Milken. You were on a panel. Can you share a little bit about what you talked about in this panel and the insights you shared with the group?
Yeah, it actually was a lot of fun, and we really focused on the future of private credit, and I got asked the question, hey, is the golden age of private credit over? And what I said is that the golden age really never ended. Credit continues to be a place where people want to actively deploy, especially in a market like we're in today with some uncertainty. Amidst volatility comes opportunity.
We don't shy away from the volatility. We play offense into that volatility, and you saw us trade $5 billion of credit in the week after April 2nd. You've seen us lean into other strategies in this market, and I think that's what it comes down to, really understanding the fundamentals, and when you see that divergence between sentiment and fundamentals, taking advantage of it.
One last question before I let you get back to the conference. This is the most important question. Celtics or Knicks? What is your prediction?
I'm a diehard Knicks fan, even though I hope the Celtics keep missing threes like they did last night. I think at some point the better team prevails, and while it hurts my heart, Celtics in 6. Sorry, guys.
You heard it here first, folks. This has been really fun, but we got to get back to the conference. We'll check in later.
I'm just getting out of my panel at the Milken Conference closed-door session where we discussed managing large pools of capital for families and institutions. Lots of exciting topics, but we focused on protecting the illiquidity premium, the importance of diversification in a portfolio, making sure your managers are not correlated. Fantastic session, and I always love coming to Milken. Just a fabulous environment to share ideas.
Hi, Joe. How are
AJ,
you?
perfect timing. Time to pass off to you. I'm off to my next panel.
Terrific. Enjoy. Thank you so much, Joe. Wrapping up day 2 here in a little bit at the Milken Conference, and it has been a whirlwind. I know from the private equity side, we've had so many great meetings with LPs. We've met with some of our bankers. We've certainly seen a lot of our counterparts. Hi, Andy. Andy Sieg, Citi, walking by. And we've really had a great experience because anytime you're sort of in a market where there's some volatility and questions, of which there are plenty, people are all the more eager to hear perspectives. So it's really been just a tremendous experience of just exchanging thoughts and theories and so forth. So it's been really productive. I would love to keep chatting, but Peyton Manning's up next, and I want to go get a good seat.
I just wrapped my last set of investor client meetings here at Milken in LA. We had 2 days of back-to-back engagement with our most important clients from across the world. It has been incredibly impactful and efficient for us. I am slightly running on fumes and about to lose my voice, but it's been terrific to see everybody here in a tightly packed set of sessions. I wish Gray May wasn't a thing in LA, but I'll be headed home later tonight. And with that, I will hand it over to Christine to wrap things up.
All right, well, we are wrapping up here at the Milken Conference. It's been a really exciting whirlwind few days. I think my Oura Ring is clocking in at 16,000 steps today, if that gives you any sense for how much we move around. I'm sure everyone like me, a little excited to get home to our families, but that said, Milken's a place to get a lot done. The Blackstone team had about 200 plus investor meetings, which were really, really useful. Saw so many of our clients from around the world, from Europe, Asia, the Middle East. I will tell you that the tone of the conversations gives you a sense that there is confidence returning to markets, that people feel more optimistic than I'd say even a couple weeks ago. We did a bunch of media interviews, same thing with the questions we're receiving, more measured, more optimistic, which is great to see. All right, I gotta go catch my flight, but thanks for listening. See you same time next year.